Well, hello there, and welcome back to another Genshin Impact video. Last time, we continued Act 5 of Chapter 4 of the Archon quest, where we went into the ruins that Alekino told us to go to because there was maybe something to do with primordial seawater in that ruins. And, I mean, there was primordial seawater in the ruins. We went in, Navia just got dunked on. She freaking almost fell into the pool of primordial seawater, but it seems that the oceanid form of Malice and Silver helped save her from fully contacting that water. Then Nivelet seemed to be the one. He came, by the way, because we were supposed to meet. And so he was directed by Alekino to go and check and help us out. But anyways, she was saved, and I mean, we learned a lot of lore about the primordial seawater and the people who basically dissolved in there. And, you know, essentially, kind of what I got out of that whole conversation, especially what the prosecutor said in that trial, was that, yeah, everything Fontanian goes back into the water. Like, everything Fontanian goes back into the water, essentially. Which is very interesting, because if you recall, I mean, this is a throwback to Act 1 of Chapter 4, when we just heard about the prophecy from, I think it was Linny or Lynette, told us about the prophecy. And then we asked people around it when we were giving out those bags. And someone said that, you know, the idea of turning into primordial seawater or dissolving, or the idea of disappearing into Fontaine Sea, 'cause at that point we didn't really know about primordial seawater. He kind of said that, yeah, it was comforting because, you know, he is from Fontaine. So, you know, all things from Fontaine go back into the water. So that's a pretty interesting throwback we got there. But after that, we escaped that ruins after finding some prophecy paintings on the walls, kind of depicting, you know, one depicting the previous Archon perhaps praying to an island, and the next one, the group of people circling around Farina, literally Farina, and the last one is Farina on her throne all alone. And so, very interesting what the prophecy has to say about that. And indeed, toward the end there, we all like rendezvous our separate way. Wait, that didn't really make sense. We all went our separate ways to rendezvous back after Nivelet had a chat with Farina about like what he saw on those the rocks on the wall, and we also met up with Mona. And yeah, that's it. The Mona encounter was pretty random. She's here for work essentially, and we asked if we can see her old hag master, and she said that yeah, she'll try to get it in the works. So that's pretty interesting. We might see the Hexen.
You're here, finally. Is something wrong? Monsieur Neurvalette and Lady Farina, they seem to have gotten into a dispute. Please go see for yourself.
I love how apparently we can solve this. They're in a dispute. Oh, Traveler's here. They can solve it.
Like I said, I've already explained everything.
And yet the problem has not been properly solved. There is little space for excuses between us. It is not my intention to offend you, but please, tell me where you stand. You are the Hydro Archon Focalor, are you not? Look at this. This is a list of the victims from the recent Poisson incident.
You mean they're all...
We did not arrive in time to avert this disaster, and I will not have it happen again. I will say this once more. You must tell me everything you know. Yesterday, I found 3 stone slates in some ancient ruins near Poisson. Do you know anything about those?
Seriously? You're questioning me like this is a court case now. I don't know anything about that. But you found them in some ancient ruins, you say?
That's correct, which is why I came to ask you some questions. There should have been 4 slates, but one of them was missing. The other 3 featured different images that seemed to correlate to the prophecy.
The prophecy?
The second of these slates depicts the previous Hydro Archon Egeria kneeling before a floating island in the sky, as if confessing something. Do you know nothing of this either?
I don't. I've never seen such slates.
I'll ask you again. Do you really have no information regarding the previous Archon? My deciphering of the slates indicates that the Hydro Archon Egeria once had to confess to, or apologize for, a certain sin. If anyone would know about it, it should be you.
All gods don't have the same secrets, you know. She was herself and I'm me. Is it really so strange that I know nothing? I understand your concerns, but I'm sorry. I just don't have anything to tell you.
Forgive me for saying this now, Lady Farina, but I have long known of your various secret investigations into certain matters. There are several indications that you have been investigating the prophecy on the sly. This is not strange in itself, considering that you are the Hydro Archon. But it is strange that you should also claim to not know any of Egeria's secrets, as well as do nothing following your inquiries. You have never been as superficial as you have presented yourself to be, nor are you a fool. And yet, your behavior is very inconsistent.
So you've been watching me all this time, have you? I didn't think you were that type.
You...
Well, since you know about my secret investigations, then you should know I'm actually working to take care of it. There's no point questioning or suspecting me. You're the Eudix, but you're still my subordinate. You should be following my lead. Just trust in me, you're Archon, and do as I say. Never mind whether you can truly convince yourself to or not. It'll all turn out fine. That's all I have to say. We do not discuss this matter again. Oh, the opera's about to start. Toodles!
Did Farina not notice us standing by the door? Wonder what's up with her. She was smiling. She didn't seem in the mood to care if we were listening in or not.
She seems to be deliberately hiding something. Okay, guys, is it strange that I truly believe in everything Farina says, and then I don't have a shred of trust in Alekino? Very strange. Yet, I'm gonna completely skip Farina's first banner here, or for first run at least. And I'm gonna try to see six Alekino. What is it? My brain tells me one thing, my heart tells me another thing. Which one is my brain acting here? I don't know. But yeah, I strangely believe her. I know we're not supposed to believe her because Nivelet doesn't believe her, and I think Nivelet has been incredibly intelligent this entire time we've been in Fontaine. I think he's definitely the most trustworthy person out of everybody, right? But like, why is it strange that I kind of agree with Farina? Again, I kind of feel like it's somebody, doesn't need to be Alekino, but it could be something. It's kind of pulling the strings to make Farina act. I don't know, but I don't know. Kind of feel like she does have it kind of mostly under control. But people did die, so I mean, we can't ignore that. She seems to be deliberately hiding something. I mean, she's an Archon, you know. That's what Archons do.
I assume you've been outside for a while now?
Oh, you noticed. Seems Farina didn't even realize we were here.
She was in a great panic, though I cannot discern the reason. Our discussion reached impasses time and again, a state of affairs that we cannot allow to continue. Still, I do not understand. Dialogue is the basis for understanding, so why did she keep refusing to engage?
I mean, this is a very good statement that Nivelet just... I don't know, I'm saying Nivelet's like the best person in all of Fontaine. This is a great statement. She must be refusing because, again, I mean, if she says something, then bad stuff, you know, so bad stuff will happen. So, yeah, eventually we'll need to figure it out. So hiding it is not good. Again, I think, was it Nivelet that mentioned that Alekino might have some dirt on Farina, which is preventing Farina from, like, fully talking? Was that something that Nicolette mentioned? Or it's something that I just made up on the spot? I'm afraid questions alone might not suffice. We need to make her understand how dire the situation actually is. I think she knows. Does she not know how dire the situation is? I mean, everyone kind of knows how dire the situation is. Don't tell me that the Archon doesn't know. If anyone knows, it should be her, right? Or if anyone knows best, it should be her, right? Which is, I mean, basically what... Yeah. This is how Aleki knows, kind of... I mean, that's her position. Oh no, we're taking the position of the Fatui. It's all part of the Fatui's plan, I'm telling you.
Everyone in her inner circle has noticed that she is hiding some secret. The issue is her attitude. I fear that she will not reveal anything unless absolutely forced to. We may have to create a situation in which she will have no choice but to speak.
Oh? Like what?
Normally, people will only reveal the truth when standing trial. Perhaps we must have the Hydro Archon experience just such a scenario.
But Farina's seen so many trials, and she's really good at dodging questions. How do we make sure that she won't just slip away at the first chance she gets?
It doesn't the Orchis...
We will need to consider this thoroughly, join forces with various parties, and then do what we can. If at all possible, I would prefer to recuse myself from this affair, but we must prevent the prophecy from coming to pass. This may be cruel to her, but all Fontaine is in crisis. The information a god possesses is too precious, and so we must take a chance on this.
I'm telling you, Alekina is trying to turn all of Fontaine against Farina. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. In that case, we will need help. Oh, who's gonna help us? Oh, is it the Fatui? Oh, are they gonna help? I'm telling you. It's not... It's all part of her plan. It's all part of her plan? I'm going crazy. I need to know what happens next, guys. I am... Dude, I love this game. I just love it. That's why I'm playing in English. Voice acting. I just get too invested in the story, guys. I can't understand. Like, I've never been... Also, I have been pretty invested. But, like, when you can understand the words, oh, you just get so much more invested. Sure, the Japanese voice acting sounds great. But, like, dude, I just... Anyways, enough rambling. In that case, we will need help.
But who will lend us their aid to do such a thing?
Oh, I know. I think I know who to call. Okay. I'm really bad at guessing. What are we going to call? Are we going to call the Fatui? Are we going to call Spina de Radula? Are we going to call Charlotte? Maybe a Seabird? Charlotte Mona? A Worcestershire and Siegeween? I don't know. A few days later, on a boat somewhere quiet in Poisson.
Well, that's everyone, huh? Speaking of which, it was pretty smart of you to think of hiding here.
Poisson was just involved in a disaster, so it's presently devoid of people. That naturally makes it the best choice.
And here you are drinking tea like it's the most natural thing in the world, huh?
That's what families should do. Sit and enjoy a leisurely time together.
It's nice to enjoy tea here, you know? Care for a cup?
Lend me your ears, everyone. Or perhaps one of you might like to start us off. How about you, friend?
Me? No, I don't think I can.
Then, how about you, good sir?
I fear that I will cause the mood on this boat to become as somber as it is in court.
Well then, I guess we're lucky we've got a local like me to organize things. Wonderful, the spotlight at last. I guess I'll be facilitating things from here.
That was a little long-winded, don't you think?
Oh, you might be right. Anyway, to cut to the chase, our friend here, the Traveler, has brought us together to discuss something. As for what that is, well, let's start by saying that we'll be pooling our efforts together to create a series of traps.
Oh, how intriguing.
Well, it's just an expression, really. One that I just learned from Chlorand. and used on the spot. So, let's invite her to explain in detail. A round of applause, please.
Huh? Didn't you say that you would be facilitating this?
Oh, come now. Your work doesn't involve much public speaking, right? This is a good chance to practice. You might even pick up some fancy oratory tricks to impress your boss with in the future.
I see. And what does my boss say?
He is glad that you consider him your boss. Do go on.
In that case, do any of you have experience hunting?
Not that I recall.
Fremine and I once used a wooden stick in a basket to catch wild rabbits when we were younger. As for Lynette, oh, right. You were sick that day, weren't you?
I've also gone diving to catch some fish before. Does that count?
I'm afraid not. You may or may not have heard, but Fontaine once played host to a group known as the Marechaussee Hunters. Though that was their name, they did not hunt animals, but rather various monsters left behind by the ancient dynasty of King Remus. Today, Fontaine's monster population has already thinned greatly, so the hunters have blended back into society, taking up arms in other lines of work. They even left a unique methodology of hunting in their wake. A trap comprises of the following components: bait, a trigger, and a containment device. Sometimes a lethal implement will also be necessary to deal with the prey. So, if we were to build a trap together, right now, what would you choose to build it with?
For me, I would prefer something basket-shaped. Pigeons and rabbits will see the bait and naturally enter the snare. Our line of work requires a deft hand, and we're some of the best in the industry, so you can count on our techniques.
You used some of those techniques while moving the people of Poisson, didn't you? My subordinates mentioned that you even performed some magic for the bawling children.
Yes, and I even managed to gather some intelligence in the meantime. I'm quite the multitasker if I do say so myself.
I'm afraid I can't claim that as my strong suit. I prefer more stable methods, like placing bait in the water and waiting for the fish to come within reach. That's the kind of method I would count on.
Calm and steady. Exactly the kind of person who would catch loads of fish.
And I can be their assistant.
With discretion, I'm sure.
I'd probably use some sort of mechanical animal. Papa once bought me some small clockwork squirrels, mice, and such. When placed in the forest, they can attract others of their kind. I remember that you liked those too, didn't you?
I did. And that would be a good way to go about it. If they're realistic enough, animals of the same kind will follow them all the way to the trap.
What about you, Monsieur Neuvillette?
I fear I do not have any related experience.
That makes sense. You usually solve problems directly, without the use of any such tricks. But I do have one more question for you, Monsieur. If we were to create a trap now, how would you design it?
I would like for it to be effective, but bring no harm to the prey. A more gentle trap would be ideal.
Kind, as always. However, our intention doesn't necessarily change the containment device and the type of implement we need. If we wanted to kill the prey in one strike, we would need a powerful implement. However, that also goes for prey that must be captured and safely contained.
Wait, why's that?
Only a hunter who's a true expert at subduing their prey can snare it without harming it. The line that divides life and death is often exceedingly thin.
So are we going hunting together?
Huh. We hadn't thought of seeing ourselves as hunters. It kinda works, but maybe it's still not the best metaphor.
If our means of capturing and dealing with our prey is to put them on trial, then the hunting metaphor is actually quite accurate. But we shall require much more courage than any hunter to judge a god. being whose seat is an exalted throne.
Okay, I didn't expect Cloran to be in here because I mean I totally forgot of her existence. But also, who let her talk? She's just talking about traps. Can we just get straight to the chase? Cut straight to the chase here. Why are we talking about all this nonsense? I'm sure this conversation will be more important in the future, but also, can we just get to the chase?
Oh, so that's what's going on. Sounds very interesting.
Cloran hunting metaphor is just a metaphor. It's just that, a metaphor. You will not call this a hunt because that is not what you should do at the present, nor has the relationship between you and Farina reached such a dire stage. Then what was the point of this? What you need is simply the secret she is keeping. Attempting to take her secret as an act of sacrilegious disrespect, but must be done to prevent Fontaine from sinking into the waters as foretold in their prophecy. Can't believe they used the word sacrilegious. Anyone practice 40 hours a day? There is neither a hunter nor prey, but there must be a trap. That is what you will need. Couldn't like Cloran just say that? Like, please. Yep, there we go. The Fatui are now involved, and it's exactly what Alekina wants. She just planned this all along. It's all in her itinerary. Get Traveler to help Fatui help bring down Farina. Get Nivelette also involved. Get powerful Spina de Razula and powerful champion duelist involved as well. I've never been on the ship. I didn't realize there was a table. Go to Spina de Razula base. Where are we? What the heck? Yeah, we're at... What do you mean? Oh, I guess we're at Poisson. So let's go here. Okay, yeah, I get it. We're supposed to trap Farina, but like, why did it go like so long like that? Okay. Anyways, let's make our way here.
It's been a tough few days, hasn't it? So much has been happening.
Those meetings sure they make me hungry.
Paimon didn't think the meetings would go on for so long, but everyone seemed pretty fired up, huh? Paimon thought they'd be at least a little frightened. Well, Fremine was, now that Paimon thinks about it, but everyone else just looked a little surprised.
Okay, I don't know if I mentioned it last time, but the last time when we had food, again, it was a cake that looked like the cake that Alekina gave to Farina when we were at that tea party. So I don't know if she's secretly trying to poison us. But let's see if we see that same cake again while we eat here. If we do eat here. Do you feel more confident after the meetings, Paimon? By the way, the meetings, it reminds me of Sumeru when we were like, before we were trying to break, what's her name? Nahida out of prison, essentially. We had, it was us, we were chilling with like Deya, Hatham, Sino. There was freaking, what's her name? The Hydro lady. Kende, she was there. We were all just planning things out, right? Good times, good times. I'm probably forgetting somebody, but unlucky, really. Do you feel more confident after the meeting, Paimon?
Well, it's hard to say. Paimon doesn't have any experience with this sort of thing. But with you around, Paimon sure will do great. After all, you're the most reliable person in the world, aren't you? Huh?
Huh? Is something wrong?
Did you just pour some tea? Paimon didn't notice you doing that at all.
No, I didn't. Alright, who's there? Is it Alekino? Up to no good?
Then what's that? Paimon's never seen that cup before.
Don't be frightened. I'm just joining you two for tea. I merely refrained from saying anything till now.
Who's that voice? But there's no one here.
Ah, have you forgotten me already?
Wait, you are familiar. You're the voice we heard from the sky in Sumeru.
The voice from the sky, I fear that description is wrong. Though, not completely wrong. You're feeling lost now.
just as you were feeling previously. I sensed that confusion and thus came to you. Guiding people is an irresistible hobby of mine, after all.
Yeah, I was gonna say I do not recognize his voice because if we heard it before I started doing the Fontaine story quest, then yeah, I don't recognize the voice. From Sumeru, I think when we were doing, I forgot. Yeah, there was some people talking to us. I think it was when we were like trapped in like the endless dream thingy. This person was talking. Was it this person? I forgot. I totally forgot when this person talked with us. Because again, I don't recognize the voice. And it's been a while since I played Sumeru Archon Quest. Anyways, not Araki, but might be someone connected. Who knows? Who are you and what do you want with us? Oh, by the way, I kind of have a suspicion of who this person is. Because I did watch the special program. But no spoilers in the video yet. What do you want with us?
Consider me a passerby, just accepting a commission from my friend's disciple on a whim.
Friend's disciple. So this is one of the friends in Mona's master. Friend's disciple. Yeah, friend is old hag. Disciple is Mona. So accepting a request from friend's disciple. So yes. This is not the old hag. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. The enigmatic N from the Hexen Circle. Who's N? Man, are we playing Pokemon? Playing Pokemon now? Is Team Plasma coming in? I forgot who N was. The first time we heard about the Hexen Circle, by the way, it was from a story quest. Not a story quest. It was from an event quest. Alright? It was from an event quest that again... yeah, it was from an event quest, and it was like Alice talking about it, but I totally forgot who N was. Let me ask you, will Fontaine prophecy come true? Oh, we asking the hard-hitting questions. I respect it.
The prophecy. Yes, what has been prophesized will be fulfilled. You may view such things as the history of the future.
What? Then is there any way we can stop it?
I believe you have witnessed a failed attempt with your own eyes. Can everything in Teyvet so easily be changed?
I believe you witnessed a failed attempt to change history. Did that have something to do with Scaramouche and Nahida? Maybe it was just Nahida, or maybe it was just Scaramouche. Right? Is that what N is referring to? By the way, if N does know, if we are referring to like the Nahida Rekadevata thing or the Scaramouche Wanderer thing, how does Mage N know? How does N know? Can everything in Teyvet easily be changed? Can so easily be changed? There is yet again fate. Can there really be no exceptions?
So you've caught on. Just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspectives of the gods, could things be happening in hidden corners where the gods' gaze does not fall? Are the things that you shall see different from the fate that the gods perceive?
Yes, us. We are the unknown factor in the situation.
What is she talking about? It all sounds really impressive and important and stuff, but it also sounds kind of scary.
The tea in the teacup is just about gone as well. Where is this water going?
You understand, right? Some things are insignificant, but others you must reach out to change. Ultimately, fate shall serve as your only guide, no matter what will happen in Teyvat's future. All you need to do is to play your part. This was good tea, by the way. Thank you for your hospitality. Well, that'll be all for today.
The voice. It's gone.
Mage N, is this a clue you're leaving for us? Well, it's a pretty crap clue, because I have no idea. The unexpected news leads to complicated feelings. You lie, okay, then you wake up, someone seems to be outside.
I want to hear someone talking. Alright, coming.
You're getting more diligent, Paimon. Yeah, so I think what N was saying was that Fate is gonna do his thing. Okay. Okay, like, I'm missing something because I don't know why that was important. Again, strange. But now I figured out why the Mona encounter was important. The reason why Mona encounter was important was so we can get to talk with N. Because she seems to be knowing of things, indeed.
Hey, it's you who's getting lazy, okay?
Well, I see I've walked in on some lively banter.
Mona!
How you been these past few days?
Fine, just fine. I went to take part in that Steambird panel. It turned out to be more interesting than I expected. Not all Fontainians are pessimistic about this. One journalist mentioned that sitting around and waiting for the end to come would be wrong, and that they should make their own rescue preparations. I agreed, so we had a brief chat with her.
Did she have pink hair by any chance?
Why, yes! It was Charlotte. You remember her, right? That daredevil journalist? I'm in full support of her view. Prophecies are very important, but how can people allow their lives to be commandeered by just a few words?
That's right! Paimon's glad to hear something sensible for once.
Ah, yes. About what we had discussed before. I did try, but I'm afraid I couldn't reach the old hag. I'll try again tonight, but I wouldn't get your hopes up.
Wait a minute. Mona didn't even talk to her? So how did N know? Well, I guess N kind of knew what we were doing in Sumeru, so I guess they're just... Yeah, I guess they're just everywhere. Actually, someone already came over.
Huh?
You tell Mona about the mysterious gift. How do we... By the way, how do we even know that they were N?
Goodness gracious. Are you serious?
How do we even know that they were part of the Hexen Circles? Like... we really know. Okay. I believe she came to pass a message to us.
She said that even the god's gaze has blind spots. Pretty bold if you ask Paimon. Most people would believe the gods to be all-knowing, right?
The Hexen Circle members are certainly anything but ordinary. As for the mage named N, the old hag has mentioned her a few times. She said that N's sense of direction is incredible, and that she loves guiding those who are lost. But I've never met her, and if she were still alive, she'd be... Well, suffice it to say that the hag's at least a few hundred now, and N's been around for longer than that.
Whoa, the Hexen Circle sounds like a scary group. But they must really stay in shape to live so long.
Their abilities alone are pretty terrifying. If she came to see you personally, then the problem you're facing must truly be of great importance.
Well, it's not like Paimon could understand anything she said.
Yes, she was quite cryptic, but I suspect she means that there is still a way to turn things around. She didn't say when or what that would be, though, so... Perhaps it is something that you cannot know right now.
True, her words were meant to be a helpful hint. But when will we realize their value and meaning? Exactly. What was the best answer to that my question
Traveler,
could have gotten?
Paimon, are you two all right?
Oh, we're fine. We're just a little down right now. It kind of feels like the end is coming, you know?
I see. I feel that same sense of desperation, too. I guess you could consider me someone who has often witnessed fate. So far as I have seen, it cannot be swayed. But even so, I still hope for and believe in miracles. Astrology is eternal and rational, but fate may not be. It is cruel, but it can also be beautiful. Perhaps that's what N was trying to tell you. Not to lose heart, and to believe that what you are seeing playing out before you is not yet set in stone. I did originally think of steering clear of all this, but I couldn't. Even if this is all futile, I still wish to help everyone. If we don't struggle to the last, then how can we face the end when it comes?
Huh. You do have a point.
There I go, talking about astrological principles again. Sorry about that. The moment I start talking about work-related stuff. I need to get going.
Don't worry about it, Mona, and thank you.
It was worth trying to comfort you, even if only a little. I believe that you'll help those who are struggling in the same way I did. I suppose that might be why we always seem to meet by coincidence.
Paimon feels kinda moved by what Mona said, but also kinda sad too. Hey, Traveler, Paimon suddenly feels like going outside for a walk. Let's go. Let's walk around the city, shall we? There's a few spots we always like to walk by.
Why are we walking? Why are we walking? I feel like this quest is kind of going all over the place at this point. But yeah, I think it's very interesting what we just encountered there. It's not over until it's over, right? If the prophecy happens, honestly, after they just said that, after N and Mona just said that, I think what might happen is I feel like the prophecy will actually go through. We'll see everyone dissolve in primordial seawater, and it'll just be us and Frina. And then after that, who knows what happens next. But I'm calling it now. I'm calling it after they just said that all. I do think that maybe prophecy will come true. But can we reverse it after it's gone through? Who knows? But yeah, after they said that, I kind of feel like prophecy might actually happen.
Huh? Our names are written in this newspaper. What's going on?
Our names are in a newspaper. What's wrong? Maybe we're famous?
Let Paimon see. The underwater stronghold, the Fortress of Meripede, has continued in its noble autonomy, but that does not mean that others cannot interact with it. My recent attempts to enter the fortress bore little fruit. Huh. Guess Charlotte still hasn't given up on that. Thus, did an Outlander friend become the focus of this report? A blonde adventurer with their white fairy legends trailing in their wake. It is said that this mysterious traveler once visited the underwater fortress. So while the fortress's interior remains a mystery behind closed doors, do not fear, for the tales of the traveler contain surprises in spades. Journalist Charlotte's biggest scoop yet, the Traveler's Trail, World Walker. Huh. Charlotte took so many awesome photos of us and we never even noticed her. She hasn't been able to get a hold of anything at the fortress, so since we're easier to find, she's using us as the subject matter instead?
That sure seems to be the case.
Seriously? Well, fine. Those headlines and photos do look cool, so Paimon will forgive her this time.
Continue moving forward. Yeah, this is part of the quest where I'm like, okay, like why is this relevant? Why is this important? Like, what are we doing? I wanted action. I wanted things happening.
We're here! Paimon's hungry. Should we go in and get something to eat? Hey, quick! Look! That's the limited edition only 16 slices a day cake!
Hasn't it already sold out for today? Yeah, we've seen like literally every Fontainian character that we've met up to this point, besides Charlotte on this Archon quest. When are we gonna meet Charlotte? Hello. Anyways, this hasn't already sold out for today.
It was so delicious the last time we tried it. Despite the tense situation we were in, let's give it another go. Paimon's sure it'll be great.
Yeah, I think the last time we ate it was Alekino. Again, I keep saying that she made the cake. She didn't make the cake. It's them that made the cake. But I'm feeling that she lied about buying that cake and then she poisoned it. So that's why I'm saying, like, we should never eat. We should never eat anything Alekino feeds us because I don't trust it. Oh, we can't let anyone get ahead of us.
One slice of cake, please. Someone showed up after all. Oh, wait, you're the one from the Palais Mermonia.
Oh, are
Are you here to buy cake too? It seems Monsieur Nervalette was right. You really can eat.
Wait, did he really say something like that?
That's right. Even he has his own preferences when it comes to food. As for me, I love the cake and coffee here.
Do you come here often?
Usually every day.
Every day?
It's part of my daily schedule, apart from work. I shall have my cake and coffee.
Then what if someone told you one day that this place would be closing soon, and you wouldn't get to eat cake here anymore? What would you think?
But why would it close?
Well, Paimon doesn't know either, but maybe the waters will rise tomorrow. You know, like in the prophecy.
Oh, the prophecy. To be honest, I haven't paid much attention to that. No, still, even if there'd be no more cake tomorrow, that wouldn't keep me from having some today. No, it's the same for eating in general. You might not be able to eat tomorrow, but if you can do so today, then you should carry on. That's what people call living, you know.
Huh.
Don't be sad. Excuse me, could I have 2 more slices of cake to go? These 2 slices are for you. Sijouin said that this kind of expression you're making is what humans call being sad.
Oh, you know Sijouin?
I sure do. She was born before me, and she sometimes comes to the surface to teach us things about humans. She said that humans are creatures that are saddened easily, yes, and you can only lift their spirits by feeding them delicious food. So please try the cakes here. I've got something else to do, so I'll be going now. You two try to stay in a good mood after eating, all right? Bye.
And there she goes. All right, let's dig in. I'm unsure this cake will be delicious.
I mean, Sadine's not wrong. You share a glass at Paimon snarf that scarf down cake.
And the flavor gets even better with a sip of tea. It sure would be nice if we could come again tomorrow. Sure would be nice if we could always eat delicious food here.
This is getting weird. What's happening? That whole interaction was just super weird. I don't know what's going on. I feel like this is just straight up filler.
Oh, we're near the Seabird office. Let's go look for Charlotte and have a chat.
Oh my gosh, actually, I called it. We're literally meeting everybody on this Archon quest. Literally everyone's getting a voice in. Am I missing anybody? No, we've literally met everybody. Even like Malou, Silver, even some of the side characters have been talking too. Like, everyone's been involved in this.
Wow! If it isn't the Traveler and Paimon! Oh, have you seen the article I wrote about you?
Ha! You've got some nerve! You just used us to make some quick mora!
Can we negotiate a profit split?
Oh, you needn't worry about that. I heard that you were in Poisson some time back, so I sent you a letter to discuss just that. It appears you didn't receive it, though. It's all right, though. I've set aside the amount intended for you. I've even set the table with some food.
Really? Oh, you're the best!
You're almost a little too easy to win over, Paimon. If I were a journalist with ulterior motives, you'd be in trouble now, you know.
Oh, Paimon knows you're not like that.
Still, what brings you here all of a sudden? Were you looking for me?
When Mona mentioned you, we thought of coming to see you at work.
I see. It seems you've already bumped into Mona here in Fontaine. So she mentioned me? What did she say?
She said that you're a real daredevil of a journalist.
Nice. In which case, can this daredevil journalist dare to request an exclusive interview with the legendary Traveler and Paimon?
Huh? So your article in the paper today doesn't count?
Oh, of course it doesn't. That was more like live photography. What I'd like to do is dive deeper and ask you to talk about the things you've seen and experienced.
You seriously want to interview me?
Yeah, are we even qualified enough?
Why not? If I say you're worth an interview, then you're worth it. But not right now, of course. I'll need a few days to prepare.
Oh, in that case, we'll just chat when you have the time then?
Oh, so that's a yes? Ooh, splendid! I'll tell the editor-in-chief immediately. I'll have to apply for lighting, a venue, some props, and... Whew, so much to get done now. Talk to you later.
Wait, Charlotte, Paimon's still got a question for you.
And what's that?
If, just for example, Fontaine were to be flooded tomorrow, what would you do today?
Huh, that's the prophecy you're talking about, isn't it? I mean, I do hear about it often, but I've never once thought that the day could be tomorrow. If you're seriously asking, then I might try and think of a way to leave Fontaine. Oh, but I'm still a journalist first and foremost. That means I have a duty to be reporting from the scene. And secondly, I wouldn't forsake my homeland that easily. From what I've seen, most people don't know what they'd do should the worst come to pass. In truth, it might be better just to behave like normal rather than worry over such an end. So in all likelihood, I'd probably still be prepping at the office for that interview of ours. I know what you're thinking. That sounds a bit sad, but I've always believed that it's best to do what you enjoy. Just think about it. If this nation really were to be suddenly destroyed tomorrow, but I still successfully finish an exclusive interview with a truly unique person, then the story I would wind up writing would truly be timeless. And then do you know what I'd do? Well, I'd write that story, send it for printing, and use messenger pigeons to get copies out to the various nations as soon as possible. I'm not a dreamer, nor am I a workaholic, but I do love my job, and I'd be proud of leaving such an article behind. I guess you could say that I was born to be a journalist. But anyway, that's my answer. And on that note, I'll get back to my preparations.
That's so nice. All of a sudden, Paimon actually kinda envies her. Anyway, let's go and take a look at the sea, shall we? The sea breeze and scenery can be a pretty soothing combo, huh? Paimon's been thinking.
Yes?
If it wasn't Fontaine, but all of Teyvet that would be destroyed tomorrow, where would we go and what would we do? No, Paimon should ask, if you could choose, what would you like to do?
If I could choose, huh? Just like Scarlet said, suddenly trying to consider what to do is pointless.
We've always been moving to the next destination, so we haven't spent much time thinking about these kinds of things. We didn't have to either, with us always being on the road and whatnot.
Until that moment comes, I think I'll keep journeying on.
You mean, still traveling?
Yes, cherish every single moment that I have to look upon this world.
Huh. Wait, isn't that what we've always been doing?
The banter goes back and forth between the two of you as time slips by. As night falls, you return to your accommodations and end this busy day. The next few days are just as calm. Charlotte comes to find you and conduct the interview in the Spirit and Rosula safe house at the Fleuve something. Navia, having finished her business at Poisson, even drops by to take a photo with the two of you. All goes well.
Feels like you'll grow mold if you stay here long enough. But it's still better than the Fortress of Mirapede, that's for sure. It's not only damp there, but salty too.
Ah, so the two of you are still here. Wonderful.
Oh, you're from the Palais Mermonia, aren't you?
Yes, I'm Isadora. Monsieur Nervillat sent me to look for you two before. I heard that afterward you went to the Fortress of Mirapede.
So you're under the impression that we were wanted criminals?
Not at all. I'm well aware that you're friends of his. Actually, I'm here to pass along a message from him.
Let's hear it.
Yes, inside the Opera House. The Marechaussee Phantom has declared the incident a small-scale riot.
A riot?
Well, that said, I don't personally think it was that serious. Lady Farina was watching a performance at the Opera House, and while she was resting during an intermission, some other audience members suddenly started harassing her, loudly accusing her of doing nothing about the prophecy crisis. And before she could respond, others started to join in. The crowd continued to grow, and protests against the Hydro Archon started to break out.
So people have started to put the blame on Farina. Guess they finally found an outlet for the pressure they've been under due to the prophecy.
I agree. People will naturally rely on gods, as is customary. But the moment people feel threatened, gods are also the first to be blamed.
So what happened after that? Is Farina okay?
Seeing that the situation was spiraling out of control and that further argument was pointless, she claimed that she'd gotten tired of this and left in a hurry. The Marechaussee Phantom had their hands full maintaining order and did not catch where Lady Farina had gone. Only when things had stabilized did we realize that she had gone missing.
So, you mean she's still missing?
That's right. The Marechaussee has dispatched many people to search for her, but we don't have any leads yet. That said, I don't think there's much to worry about. She is a god after all. Even if she were to fall into the hands of rioters, what could ordinary people do to her?
I mean, Alekino did assault her pretty easily, so I wouldn't say that. I understand the situation.
Good. Monsieur Nervillet sent me to tell you about the situation, but he didn't say anything else.
Don't worry, this is more than enough to go on. Thanks for keeping us informed.
Ah, is that so? Well, alright then. In that case, you two take care. I'll be heading back to the Palais now.
Well, sounds like we should hurry over to Poisson then.
You sure call on quickly.
If we know Farina, she won't try to fix things in this situation. Instead, she'll look for a place to wait out the heat. And, as we also know, she may be loud and dramatic, but she doesn't have a heart of stone. When Nervillet was talking to her in the Palais Mermonia, and she heard about Poisson, she couldn't hide her sadness and remorse. It would be hard for her to ignore being accused by the public today. Paimon thinks Farina's probably taken the opportunity to slip away to Poisson and try to relieve the sense of guilt that she's feeling. Huh! Well, what do you think? Paimon knows the answer, of course, but Paimon can do the analysis to back it up too. Cool, huh?
I see becoming a detective's done you some good. Looks like those detective novels have taken an effect on you.
In that case, there's not a moment to lose. Poisson, here we come!
Hunter's Prophecy. Apocalypse? Well, I'm gonna have to leave you guessing what happens next because we're ending the video there. It seems like all this stalling, all this filler stuff that we've been doing kind of seems the reason why we've been doing it is kind of to let the trap trigger, because again we had that conversation with like Cloran, the Fatui dudes, Nivela and Navia about setting a trap. So I'm guessing this is the trap. Whether those people who were calling the riot were in on the trap or not, who knows what was going on there. But indeed, honestly, this whole time, again, my hypothesis that I made a bit earlier in this Archon quest kind of feels like Alekino has been kind of pulling the strings here. It feels like everything she wants to have happened has kind of happened, in the sense that, yeah, putting Farina under pressure so that she can, or so that Alekino can get her hands on the Hydronosis somehow. You know, kind of feels like that's what's been happening this whole time. And so I'm guessing we're finally going to put it into action next time, though. Next time we're gonna see what's happening Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait, but I don't think I can record more today, so that's unlucky for me. But yeah, it's exciting. I think next time we're gonna get some the apex. Is it the apex? Is it the apex? You know, it's like the top, the point of most excitement and like tension building up. The apex? I don't think it's called the apex, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It probably should inevitably come to fruition, and the plans are all in place. All that's left is to judge a god. Yeah, it's interesting stuff gonna happen. So thank you so much for watching. You're beautiful the way you are, and I'll catch you in another video.